You have worked for 40 years. You have paid your taxes on time and followed every rule the system laid out for you since you started your career. Now you have saved $200,000 in your retirement account. Your neighbors say you are doing well and that you should be proud of your discipline. The bank tells you that you are ahead of the average American in your age group. But as you sit in your living room today, in February of 2026, looking at the rising cost of groceries and the global economic uncertainty, do you actually feel secure? The truth is, $200,000 used to be a fortune that guaranteed a peaceful life. But today, it is becoming a dangerous trap for those who do not understand how the financial game has fundamentally changed. If you follow the traditional 4% rule, that $200,000 will only provide you with $666 per month. Can you truly maintain your independence and your dignity on $20 a day? Most people think about money backwards, and that is why they feel stuck, even when they have managed to build a decent savings account. They think money is a tool for survival, or a way to access credit for a lifestyle that they cannot actually afford. But the wealthy see it in an entirely different light. Before we dive into how you can flip the script and turn your savings into a machine that works for you, I want to ask for your support. If you find this perspective valuable, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel right now. It is the simplest and most effective way to help this message reach others who are struggling to find clarity in these difficult times. Also, please leave a comment below, letting me know where you are on your journey. I value your feedback and read every message. Make sure to stay until the very end, because I will show you a specific 5-year strategy to double your momentum without adding a single extra dollar of your own money. Now let us look at the reality of our world in 2026. We live in an era where the old maps no longer lead to the treasure. For decades, we were taught that a steady job and a modest savings account would lead to an easy and comfortable retirement. But the inflation of the last few years has acted like a silent thief in the dead of night. It has stolen the purchasing power of every dollar you worked so hard to put away. In 2026, $100 does not buy what $50 bought just a decade ago. The survival mindset is the most common way people view money, and it is the primary reason they remain in a state of constant, low-level anxiety. In this mindset, every dollar you earn is reactive. You receive your paycheck, and then you immediately tell those dollars where to go to keep your life from falling apart. You pay for rent, utilities, expensive groceries, and rising medical bills. When you are in survival mode, you are trading the most finite and precious resource you have, which is your time, for a currency that is losing value every single day. It is like trying to fill a bucket that has a dozen small holes in the bottom. No matter how hard you work or how fast you pour, the level never seems to rise to the point of comfort. This creates a heavy emotional burden that affects your health and your relationships. You feel like a small animal scavenging for warmth on a bitterly cold night, focused entirely on making it until tomorrow morning. But even those who move past survival often fall into the second and more deceptive trap, which is the credit mindset. This is the middle-class plateau where most people get stuck for their entire lives. At this level, you earn more, your bills are manageable, and you finally feel like you have some breathing room. You feel successful because you have a nice home in a good neighborhood and a reliable luxury vehicle in the driveway. But beneath the surface of this apparent success, your money is serving the wrong purpose. In the credit mindset, money is primarily used to leverage more debt so that you can consume more things. You upgrade your lifestyle because you feel you have earned it after years of hard labor. But every upgrade adds a new and heavy obligation to your plate. You are not building true independence. You are simply building a higher ceiling for your daily stress. If you were to lose your primary source of income for just 3 months, this entire house of cards would begin to crumble. This is a horizontal movement, not vertical growth. You are running faster and faster on a high-speed treadmill, but you are still in exactly the same place. The wealthy, the ones who represent that small 1.8% of the population, operate in what I call the expansion mindset. To them, earning money is only the starting line, not the finish line. They do not see a dollar as something to be spent on a whim, or something to be hidden away for a rainy day. They see every single dollar in their possession as a dedicated worker. Imagine each dollar in your account is a soldier whose only job is to go out into the market and bring back more soldiers. When you have $10,000, you have a small squad of 10,000 workers. But when you reach that critical tipping point of $100,000 or $200,000, the army becomes large enough to change the world around you. The expansion mindset is about output, growth, and the creation of opportunity. Every financial choice they make is filtered through one single powerful question. Will this dollar create more dollars or open new doors for me in the future? Most people in their 50s and 60s today have a significant portion of their net worth tied up in home equity. You might have a home worth $600,000 with only $200,000 left on the mortgage. On paper, you are wealthy and successful. But as I often remind people, you cannot use your kitchen cabinets to pay the electric bill. Home equity is what we call static or frozen wealth. Unless you sell the home, downsize, or take on risky debt against it, that equity does not produce a single cent of cash flow to support your daily life. Meanwhile, a liquid investment portfolio in a diverse index like the S&P 500 has historically returned around 10% per year, while real estate appreciation in many areas often hovers around 4%. If you have $400,000 in home equity, it is growing at a much slower rate than $400,000 in a productive liquid investment account. This is the hidden cost of the traditional American dream. You are sitting on a gold mine, but you are still worried about the price of eggs and gas at the local store. The first $1 million is always the hardest to achieve because you are doing all the heavy lifting yourself. Your manual contributions represent 90% of the growth in the early years of your journey. But once you cross that threshold, the mathematics of compounding begin to take over the work. The second $1 million almost always comes twice as fast as the first. Why does this happen? It happens because compounding is no longer a slow crawl. It has become a powerful, self-sustaining engine. A 10% return on $1 million is $100,000 in a single year. That is likely more than your peak annual salary was for the majority of your working career. Suddenly, you have a second version of yourself working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, without ever taking a coffee break or needing a vacation. This is the precise moment when your net worth explodes and your life changes forever. But most people never reach this point because they stop and give up right before the curve turns upward. They get frustrated by the seemingly slow progress in their late 40s and decide to spend the money on a massive lifestyle upgrade. They trade their future freedom and peace of mind for a temporary thrill that fades within a few months. If you are currently 55 or 60 years old, you might feel a sense of panic that you have run out of time to catch up. But I am here to tell you that the next 5 to 7 years are the most critical and potentially profitable of your entire life. This is what I call the 5-year flip strategy. It is the deliberate process of shifting your assets from static equity into liquid, high-velocity cash flow. If you let your $200,000 stay invested in a productive environment and you delay taking Social Security from age 62 to 67, you are making a massive strategic move. By waiting those 5 years, your portfolio could grow to over $320,000 just by letting the market do its work. At the same time, your monthly Social Security benefit will increase significantly for every single year you delay. This one decision can be the absolute difference between a retirement of scarcity and a retirement of true abundance. In 2026, we must also consider the role of healthcare and the hidden costs of aging. The largest expense for most retirees is not their mortgage, but their medical needs. By building a liquid army of dollars, you are creating a buffer that protects you from the rising costs of private care. The wealthy do not ask if they can afford the latest luxury item. They ask what they will be missing out on in terms of future growth if they spend that capital today. They understand that money is a form of energy, like electricity or heat, and when you respect that energy and direct it properly, it begins to seek you out. Opportunities to grow your wealth begin to multiply naturally and seemingly without effort. You no longer feel the desperate need to chase every dollar because the system you built is now producing them for you while you sleep. This is not about becoming a billionaire or living in a massive mansion that you do not need. It is about the fundamental human freedom to decide how you spend your time and who you spend it with. It is about the deep peace of mind that comes from knowing your bills are covered and your family legacy is protected for the next generation. As we move further into the complexities of 2026, the gap between those with a survival mindset and those with an expansion mindset will only continue to widen. The question you must answer for yourself is this: which side of that gap do you want to be on? You do not need a massive six-figure income to start thinking and acting like the wealthy. You only need clarity of vision and a firm intention to change your habits. Ask yourself today, is my money truly working for me? Or am I still a slave to it? Does my next major purchase expand my future options? Or does it just maintain a lifestyle that I have already outgrown? Before we conclude this discussion, I want to hear your perspective. Which mindset level do you feel you are currently operating in? Are you in level 1, which is focused on survival and daily bills? Are you in level 2, which is focused on credit and maintaining a middle-class image? Or have you moved into level 3, which is the mindset of expansion and true wealth? Please share your thoughts and your story in the comments section below. I read every single comment, and your experiences help me understand how to better serve this growing community. And if you have not already done so, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support is what allows us to continue providing these deep dives into financial truth and strategic planning. Remember, true wealth is driven by your perception and your mindset, not just your raw income. Stop chasing temporary comfort and start building permanent independence. The tipping point you have been waiting for is much closer than you think. But you must take the first step. Stay consistent in your efforts, stay disciplined in your spending, and most importantly, stay focused on the expansion of your future. Your future self will look back and thank you for the difficult choices you are making today. Thank you for spending your valuable time with me, and I will see you in the next video.